about that new intro, but nonetheless, we have a loaded show we have to get to today, and it starts with Caleb Martin and a free agency update. But on the back half of the video, we also have to talk Jimmy Butler because allegedly the Houston Rockets are interested in the Miami Heat star. But make sure you are subscribed to the channel because this is as big of a week in the offseason as we will have. The NBA draft on Wednesday and Thursday, and then NBA free agency getting set to go on Sunday afternoon. So make sure you hit that sub button. And I have a goal for us Heat fans. We're 502 subscribers away from 12K. Can we get there before free agency tips off on Sunday? I think we can, so help me out. Hit that sub button. Caleb Martin is expected to opt out of his player option for the 24-25 season. This should come as no surprise. I've been trying to tell you this for a very long time. Martin is set to be paid $7.1 million under the player option, but he has the chance to make close to $13 million in NBA free agency. It will be intriguing to see if Miami tries to retain Martin this summer. I do not expect that to be the case, and I think Martin will be playing elsewhere in 24-25. Michael Scotto originally had the report this morning on the Heat swingman. He said that Caleb Martin is expected to decline his $7.13 million player option and enter unrestricted free agency for a bigger payday this summer, league sources told HoopsHype. Martin has shot 37% during his 3 seasons with the Heat, and should he depart in free agency, Miami will have to replace his floor spacing. 2 things. I want to make this abundantly clear. It is not technically official that he has opted out. Like, it's not official, like Shams Charania, like Caleb Martin has not told the Miami Heat he is opting out. It is just expected. But I also do want to add, it practically is official. And I've been telling you this for, I don't know, the past 6 months. Like, literally, I've been telling you guys since, I think, February when we were before the trade deadline. And I said, should the Heat trade Caleb Martin? I think they should because guess what? He's not going to sign with you in the offseason due to the first and second apron. He's going to opt out. It would make sense to get something back from Martin back in February prior to the season ending because I didn't think that he was really going to move the needle that much in the NBA postseason. So, yes, I think Martin is definitely gone. The reason why I think he's gone is I think he's going to get the full mid-level exception from someone out there. So what does that mean, you might ask? Well, that's up to $13 million in free agency on an annual average basis. I do expect Caleb to sign a 3 for $39 deal. Very similar to the Gabe Vincent contract that he signed with the Los Angeles Lakers a year ago. That's what I would project Caleb Martin to get this upcoming summer. And he does deserve it. Like, I'm not trying to diminish Caleb in any sort of a way, but like he was really good over the past 2 seasons for Miami. This year, averaged 10 a game, shot 43%, 3-point percentage a little bit down, but he did shoot extremely well the year prior. And everyone knows how integral he was in the Miami Heat run to the NBA Finals during the 2023 postseason when they went to the finals as an 8 seed. He was unbelievable and was deemed one of the best contracts in all of basketball, as well as one of the best role players in the NBA. There's no diminishing what Caleb has done as a Miami Heat player, but it's as simple as this. The Miami Heat can't afford what Caleb Martin wants. Caleb understands this is probably maybe the best time for him to cash in and make a massive payday in the NBA. He's obviously already made good money. He's been an NBA player for the past 2 or 3 seasons, but this is the time for him personally and really to get his family and his future family as well money that can set them up for life. So I'm not trying to be upset that Caleb is leaving Miami to try to get that bag because he simply can't get that from Miami unless the Heat went deep into the second apron. And here's the thing, they're not doing that for Caleb Martin. They would do it for maybe a star or an all-NBA guy, but they're not doing it for a role player like Caleb. So to me, I'm just going to wish Caleb the best and hope he has a good career elsewhere. And let's show Caleb Martin some love. If you're with me, I have no ill will feelings to Caleb. He was a frustrating basketball player at times, that's for sure, with his decision-making and shot decisions, I should say. But I do want to show him some love because he did help Miami get to the finals, and that Eastern Conference Finals against the Celtics will always have a special place in my heart. So spam your 16s with me down below. All right, let's get into Jimmy Butler now because do the Houston Rockets want to trade for the Heat All-NBA forward. Well, Jonathan Givony, who is an NBA draft expert here at ESPN, had this little nugget on the Houston Rockets. The Rockets are clearly in win-now mode and would love to add a star power to their roster, with players such as Kevin Durant, Jimmy Butler, Mikal Bridges, and Brandon Ingram, as well as role players including Brook Lopez and Marcus Smart, being some that other teams say the Rockets could have interest in targeting. And the Jimmy Butler part is interesting because Jimmy is from Houston, and maybe he could go to his hometown team. Well, hometown, I don't even know if he grew up a fan of the Rockets, but either way. And I do want to make this abundantly clear, and I've said this for a very long time now. The Miami Heat are not trading Jimmy Butler. They are not in the business of trading away these type of players, and I don't think that will happen. But if the Heat did trade Jimmy Butler, and you gave me a list of teams they can trade him to, I think the Houston Rockets would be number one on my list and would be my favorite choice for Miami. Golden State would probably be number two, but I'm going to explain why I have Houston as my number one option in just a bit. But the NBA draft is this Wednesday night. And make sure you are tuned in with us because we are going to be live on the channel breaking down the entire first round and when the Heat make a pick at 15. This is the thumbnail, so make sure you do come hang out with us on Wednesday night. If you see this on YouTube, click on it because your boy's going to be live breaking down the NBA draft. All right, this is why I think Houston would be my number one spot to trade Jimmy Butler to, and it's just simply they have a lot they can offer Miami. If you go to that youth route, you can get a really nice start on a rebuild, if you will. Jalen Green, Amen Thompson, Jabari Smith Jr., Cam Whitmore, and 9 tradable first-round picks makes Houston one of the most enticing teams in the NBA if they had interest for Butler. But it also makes them a massive threat for like other stars. Like they mentioned KD. Donovan Mitchell likely going to re-sign. All signs pointing to that. But if he became available, Houston would be a threat to Miami to acquire him. Like these assets are really damn good. And if you're asking me, well, Nick, if we trade him to Houston, what would you want in return? My Jimmy Butler ask is this. I'm asking for 2 first-round picks out of the 9 they have. I don't care if they're theirs. I don't care if they're Brooklyn's. I don't care if they have protections on them. I'm getting 2 first-round picks in 2 of the 4 young guys we just showed on screen as well in those in that deal. Because, yes, Jimmy Butler is turning 35 in September, but he still is one of the best wing players in the NBA, a top 15 guy, in my opinion, in the association, and he's going to get you a lot back in a trade. I'm not buying that his stock is that low in the NBA. So, if you combine my Jimmy Butler ask with what it would look like on paper, this is what a projected trade in my eyes would look like. And if you think this is asking for too much, then I'm going to tell you I don't care because I'm not trading Jimmy Butler at all. But if I do trade him, it has to be for an absolute haul. I would prioritize Amen Thompson and Cam Whitmore, the 2 first-round picks Houston made in the 23 NBA draft. You get 2 first-round picks. I don't care what year. All I know is I want 2 first-rounders, and the Rockets would get Jimmy. We'll talk more about Amen and Cam Whitmore in a second, but I do want to make sure this is abundantly clear to you at home. That trade that I just showcased with Jimmy heading to Houston, the 2 young guys coming to Miami, and the 2 first-round picks, it would actually not work financially for the Houston Rockets. But I just tell them, hey, if you want Jimmy, you got to find a third team to make it work because it works for Miami. You shed the salary, you get 2 guys, you save $35 million in cap space, and you get young. But the Houston can't take Butler's contract then. And I'm not taking Fred VanVleet back in return to make the salaries work. So I'm telling you, well, if you want Jimmy, you got to find a third team to help facilitate some of the money, and you guys figure it out. But on Miami's side of it, this is what I want. So before I talk about Amen Thompson and Cam Whitmore, I want to get your thoughts down in the comments section. Would you take this trade if Jimmy Butler was heading out of Miami? Type Y for yes or type N for no. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. We are going to be live for the NBA draft on our Chat Sports channel as well. So if you feel like you don't want to hang out with us at the Heat Report, which makes no sense, please join our channel as we're going to be doing a focus on Heat. But this is the thumbnail for our main Chat Sports stream. So if you see this one and want to hop in over there, I'll also be over there too. So hit that sub button and join that stream as well. All right, here are the two young players that we're focusing on in return for Jimmy Butler. Amen Thompson and Cam Whitmore. And I know a lot of Heat fans actually wanted Cam Whitmore with the 18th pick last year when the Heat elected to go Jaime Jaquez Jr. Obviously, Jaquez was the right pick because he was able to help the Heat year one, and he showcases a lot of promise for the future as well. Well, Whitmore does too. He's a good wing with great athleticism. He can shoot the three ball at 36%, and he's a Villanova guy, and the Heat have a lot of success with Big East basketball players, and specifically Villanova. But Amen Thompson is the guy I want to highlight because to me, he is the package and the spotlight of this deal because he was the 4th overall pick in last year's draft. He has absolutely no jump shot, which, yes, that is an issue, but he has one of the highest ceilings in this young NBA. Like, he's 6'6", 6'7". He has a good handle. He can play the 1. He can play the 2. He can play the 3. He can attack the glass. He can attack the rim, finish with authority. He's an excellent defender. And if he's able to develop a 34, 35% jump shot from beyond the arc, he can be one of the most dangerous two-way guards in the entire association. And that is some athleticism, size, and defense that Miami could absolutely use in their backcourt. And he can play on the wing as well. Like, he is a guard who can defend all the way to the 3 or 4. Like, if you had to put him on Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown, I would feel comfortable doing that. That is how good of a defender Thompson is. To make this, I guess, full circle and close out today's show, I want to make things very clear. No matter what your opinion is on Jimmy Butler, on what the Heat should do, it is still very unlikely the Heat trade Jimmy. I've made this point in the past. Pat Riley's 80 years old. Do we really think he wants to rebuild this team right now? No. And I don't think it's fair to him. I don't think it's fair to Jimmy to, like, write this off and really end this run that they've had. And I get it. Making the age point for Pat Riley is probably not, like, the most convincing argument. But get yourself in his head. He's probably got 2-3 seasons left of being an executive before he goes out. Does he want to do that and rebuild this team and not see the fruition that could happen? Like, no. He's going to want to try to finish out this build with Jimmy and Bam, which is why Butler's not going anywhere. All right, make sure you follow me over on Twitter at Nic_Rohloff is my handle. I'm talking the Heat on a daily basis. And when the Heat make a pick at 15, you'll see it first on my Twitter before you even see a video on our channel. So make sure you follow me to get the Heat breaking news first at Nic_Rohloff. I'll see you with a video tomorrow with my final updated NBA draft targets list. So go Heat.